This seriously is one of the best looks at this alleged creature's face we've ever gotten. It has human-like features, but its skin is dark gray and leathery, and it has long flowing hair on top of its head. Weirdest cryptid videos ever. Released in early March, the video is showing what some...
I'm in Dubai. They got a big sign that says use of jinn, DJINN, or black magic for gain is strictly forbidden.
For a small fee of just $1.99 per minute, you can talk to an AI Jesus. They are now allowing AI to portray Jesus, and you can talk to Jesus for $1.99 a minute.
Man, what's good with the collective? Y'all know we back with another banger, another reaction. I appreciate everybody who been tapping in, running up, and subbing up. If you new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7. And this is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps Collective grow, helps Collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But I appreciate you if you're watching any TV, whatever the case is. I wish it was smooth 7. Might be a trigger warning or 2. I hope not. But don't forget to hype up the video as well. Also, happy birthday to Melissa. Shout out to Zay Reacts. Man, y'all go check him out, bro. Go run his whole YouTube up. I told him I'm going to send some of y'all to go check him out, man. Shout out to Big Bro. I appreciate you for checking out every video. Y'all make sure y'all go sub up to his work, man. Also, shout out to Minnie. She got this work too. So y'all make sure y'all go sub up to her as well. She be doing his YouTube content as well. So y'all make sure y'all go sub up to him. Y'all love what we do. Y'all gotta love the homies. Y'all gotta love them. But I ain't gonna hold you. I know what it is. Let's get straight to the video, man. Let's go.
Text is torn, so it remains unclear whether the world will end in 12 months or enter a state of prosperity. There has been no official statement from the Austrian government.
Gluten, they add extra gluten. It makes... This should fall apart like real bread, but I can literally wring it out like a sponge.
Sponge. Let's keep going. Let's see how many times I can do this. We're at like number 3. Okay, run some more water under it. Oh, squeeze it. I should clean the sink with this maybe. Alright, this is still going on. We are wetting it. If this was real bread, it should fall apart immediately. This is alarming. People think, oh, my bread never gets soggy and it's so fluffy and stays together. Ugh.
This has extra gluten plus monoglycerides, which are like glue. Soy lecithin is the structure stability. It makes it stay together. Then you got enzymes. That's the hidden one everybody misses. It's how the starch behaves. So it makes the bread softer, it makes it more shelf stable, and it's unlikely to break down.
That was real helpful.
So I just found some leak never before seen footage from Bohemian Grove.
When will ye learn that me ye cannot slay? Year after year ye burn me in this grove, lifting your puny shouts of triumph to the stars. But when again ye turn your faces to the marketplace, do ye not find me waiting as of old? Fools to dream ye conquer care.
For those of you that don't know, Bohemian Grove is this big, weird cult that involves men of power. Members include presidents, government officials, and business leaders. Honestly, with everything that has come out about the files this year, this doesn't shock me. Like, if they were doing sacrifice, they probably were. Honestly, I believe it. They definitely were doing some sort of satanic initiation or something. This is like a hush-hush secret club. Like, what goes on there stays there. People have been killed over revealing secrets like this. So we only have this leaked footage.
Remember when I said there's clips that I've came across that maybe didn't make it to the channel, but it make me be like, damn, what did I just watch? How can I unwatch that? But I can't. There was a clip of Bohemian Grove, and there was a kid. Now this is the shit happened twice, just 2 different locations. One was on the Epstein in the Epstein files. The other one was at Bohemian Grove, and you can hear the kid getting violated. That shit right there, when I say I wish I could have unheard that, but it was too late. It was too late. And I knew I wasn't about to put that on nobody else, or I was going to put that out. I couldn't even believe it was, I think that was on Instagram. It might even have been on TikTok, but I'm pretty sure it was on Instagram though, but shit crazy, bro.
Hey, yo, just imagine you minding your motherfucking business and you walking down the street in Orlando and you see this shit. Boy, I would have shit my pants, skedaddle. First, I would have recorded like this. Then shit my pants and run. Hell no, bro. 2026, what's up with all these creatures and shit is popping out, bro. The veil is gone. I keep telling y'all this. But y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think about this video. On Phone Grade, shit is crazy.
Yeah, the veil gone for sure.
Okay, I have to do a part 2 because so many people was like, oh, this is albino. No, they claim that this is a normal white girl, a little white baby that's born with red eyes. This is why the family is showing y'all this. They call her an angel that snuck out of heaven on Phone Grade. Shit is crazy.
With red eyes though?
Eu não entendo porque ninguém está mostrando isso aqui. Olha só, quando você for cozinhar seu macarrão e você vê essas manchinhas brancas aqui, não é porque o macarrão tá velho ou que o macarrão tá quebrado ali naquele local. Olha só o que que é. É esses vermezinhos aqui, essas larvinhas aqui, ó, que pode prejudicar a sua saúde e a saúde da sua família. Olha só que incrível.
That's a damn, bro, that's a parasite.
You remember the TikToker who was building that almost 7-foot tall animatronic bunny?
Yes, the Freddy Fazbear thing like come to life, right?
Bro, literally.
What's the progress?
Mike,
what's the progress?
Oh my god, I thought it was Cap. He's almost done.
Really?
He actually finished the entire body.
I gotta see.
Before I even show you, I'm just gonna give a little bit of context for the people who either never heard of this or are not too familiar. So it was this guy on TikTok who goes by the name of Citra, and he has a TikTok page that has like I think 5.5 million at this point.
Damn.
Where he's been doing progress report videos showing him build this animatronic robot that he says he wants it to have like a sneak mode and like all these other weird things that he wants to add to this robot that people are saying it's very scary. He said it's water. He wants to make it waterproof, fireproof, bulletproof, all of these other crazy things. And recently, it looks like this guy is almost done.
Oh wow! So he's got like the whole like exoskeleton already done.
He got the whole exoskeleton done now.
Wow, that looks crazy.
This is not insane.
It's so big too.
Yeah, it's like 7 foot tall. They said.
Yo, that thing is tall.
I don't know, man. I just look at stuff like this and I go, why?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, even if he doesn't actually make it bulletproof and fireproof, it's like, is this thing still not something you can possibly make dangerous?
Yeah.
Even for just yourself? It doesn't have to be for other people. But like, you know, it's just such a weird thing to play with, bro.
I've just begun the construction of the upper arms. Just their rough frames right now, just for size. They're roughly 20 inches in length and 8 inches in diameter. I'm going to dedicate this weekend to building them out and working my way towards attaching them to the shoulders and elbows. The shoulder systems, as of last video, are officially complete.
No, that's crazy.
That's insanity, bro.
That is insane.
That's actually crazy.
I forgot he was even doing that, bro. Y'all remember this clip? That shit's scary.
Wonder if Sabrina Carpenter and all of the other Coachella performers know that they're indirectly funding the MAGA movement. Yeah, if you bought a Coachella ticket, you're probably gonna regret it after watching this video. I'm just saying, but hey, at least you're having fun. Shout out to Jude Legum for providing me with this information. As you can see, here's how it works, right? Coachella is run by Anschutz Entertainment Group, a subsidiary of the Anschutz Corporation, which is owned by right-wing billionaire Philip Anschutz. Money from the Anschutz Corporation's treasury 2023, which includes the profits from Coachella, is funneled directly to right-wing organizations that support key politicians, funding ICE, undermining LGBTQ rights, and restricting abortion. Anschutz Corporation actually donated $125,000 to the RGA on April 3rd, 2025, so I thought I'd take you further back in history a little bit. The company also donated $125,000 to the RGA in 2024, $100,000 in 2023, and $100,000 in 2022. RGA, which is organized as a 527 organization, has not yet had to disclose any 2026 donations. This part is one of the most important parts, though, because the Republican-controlled Congress has provided tens of billions of dollars in additional funding for ICE, right? The Anschutz Corporation donated $250,000 to the Senate Leadership Fund, a super PAC devoted to maintaining Republican control of the Senate, on April 3rd, 2025. The company also donated $500,000 to the SLF in 2024 and $500,000 in 2023. In 2023 and 2024, the Anschutz Corporation donated a combined $375,000 to the Congressional Leadership Fund, the super PAC supporting Republicans in the House. Mind you, this festival was started to protest high ticket prices and was originally free. Hey, once again, at least you're having fun, right?
That shit was free.
I'm not suicidal and I would never take my own life. Everything I'm about to tell you is real data that I've cited in sources down below. In 1992, George Bush's administration wrote out the food pyramid to schools all over the nation. I remember the food pyramid. I'm sure you remember the food pyramid. That was our blueprint for eating as children. And it was taught in schools across the entire nation. Here's the thing most people don't know. Researchers and scientists in the 1990s were already fighting against it. Walter Willett from Harvard publicly criticized it, warning people that following this food pyramid would lead to insane weight gain and it could cause mass depression and anxiety. At the exact same time, there were other private industries in the food realm that were lobbying the US government, saying this food pyramid made no sense. The original food pyramid was literally delayed because of how much pressure it was under. But regardless, it was still pushed into every single school in America. Gotta target the children young, right? Okay, so now here's where it gets interesting. In 1991, okay, so just 1 year before this, wouldn't you guess it, P-Visor started developing Zoloft. And in 1991, again, 1 year before this, it was approved by the FDA under the same administration. Zoloft was specifically designed to band-aid fix depression and anxiety. Now here's the numbers, because you can't argue against numbers. From 1990 to 2019, depression increased 59%. From 1990 to 2020, anxiety disorders increased 55%. Probably wondering, well, what about the obesity rates in the 1990s? Well, they were sitting at 11.5% of all Americans. Come to 2020, and it's 41.9% of all Americans? Let me make this simple for you. That's a 264% increase. And at the same exact time, Zoloft alone, not talking about Ozempic or anything else, just Zoloft has generated $30 billion. Now, it could not have generated that much money at the time with the depression and anxiety rates in the 90s. I'm not telling you what to think. All I'm doing is showing you data. That's what I do here on my channel. I presented the data and evidence. Now it's up to you to decide if this is all a big coincidence or is there a system here? If there is a system, we got to start a conversation.
One of the craziest things you've probably never heard about is the fact that the United States government, through Lockheed Martin, which is a defense contractor, literally sent an entire airplane full of passengers into a wormhole, which God knows where they came out on the other side. They're probably dead. Now, the reason I believe this with Lockheed Martin is because UFOs will hover over nuclear test sites and turn the Army shit off. They do a bunch of stuff that is counterintuitive to wanting to destroy us. So it doesn't make sense that they would just send a flight full of passengers into the middle of nowhere, into God knows where, in the middle of space, who knows. It makes more sense that the government would have authorized the use of this technology in order to find out if it actually works. And we know that Lockheed Martin has these sort of egg-shaped crafts, which is what you see in this video. You see these three egg-shaped crafts hover around this plane and completely dematerialize it, and that footage is completely real. We have no idea where any of those 300 passengers went. We have no idea what happened to majority of the plane. They say, oh, there's a little wing in the middle of they found a wing in the middle of the ocean. They didn't find anything else, and it was barely enough to even call it that. And before you start calling me names, just take a look at the footage, and it's completely indescribable. You can't describe that with normal words. You can only say that's some sort of advanced technology that the government has, or some sort of advanced technology that the extraterrestrials have. And I have no reason to believe they're any worse than our government. So
I'm in Dubai. They got a big sign that says use of jinn, DJINN, or black magic for gain is strictly forbidden. And it's a you get 100 lashings, 50,000 Emirati fine, or sent to prison. Why would they have that in the airport?
Yeah, why would they have that in the airport? It's wild here.
Why would they? If it's not going down, why they got that in there on the gas? Like, what's that about?
Yeah, I heard some crazy stories about Dubai.
Like what you heard?
Not just you know, like
Hey,
the
fellas,
women going over there making that money.
fellas, Rook is right, and I am a witness. If your significant other or lady you are interested in is traveling to Dubai,
I wanted to hear what he had to say. I needed to hear that. I needed to hear it. I needed to hear it. I did. Who else needed to hear it?
So can we talk about what's been going on with Cenat lately? Because I was just scrolling and I noticed something that kind of threw me off. How did he go from looking like this to this? Eyes are just pure black, allegedly. And, you know, shout out to him releasing a new clothing brand, but something also looks off about it as well. Just my opinion. I mean, everything, even down to his body language, looks completely different. He went from doing his own thing on live to going live lots of times with Kevin Hart, and then allowing LeBron James to cut his hair for whatever reason. Now, what's interesting is even his mom said a prayer before cutting his hair. She seemed a little concerned to me.
Heavenly Father, bless my child. You know what he's doing. May it not take away anything from him by taking it away. Amen.
Now, this is where it gets interesting. He recently went to a fashion show with Jaden Smith, and a lot of people said that something just wasn't right. Now, some people compared that Are You Ready sign to The Princess and the Frog, where the prince was basically tricked into making a deal with the devil. But, you know, maybe that's just a conspiracy. I don't know, maybe he just elevated to another level. But I definitely feel like something's very off with the imagery in his clothing line. But let me know what y'all think in the comments.
The Epstein Files in Disney movies. In Peter Pan, he takes the kids to an island where he's obsessed with youth and never growing up. In Pinocchio, the man says he's collecting little boys to bring to Pleasure Island. Where they do adult things, they turn into donkeys and he sells them into slavery. In Monsters Inc., they scare the children to get their energy for their own energy. What does that look like in that yellow tube? In Tangled, the old lady steals a baby so she can stay young. In Hocus Pocus, the old witches steal a child's life to stay young. And it says this at the end of the movie Enchanted. The Epstein Files in
The first place I went to see what they were doing was Antarctica. Because like I had to know, like, why is every president around the world all coming to Antarctica and yet there's a no-fly zone?
Right.
So there's a couple things there. One, I did see basically it looked like a giant hole in Antarctica that was there. Later, I found out that goes to an inner Earth civilization.
Okay, pause real quick. Beardmore Glacier. That's what it's called.
Oh.
So it's like a massive hole, right?
Yeah, massive
I know
hole.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So Beardmore Glacier, that's exactly. Continue, go ahead.
Yeah, so then that was like a long, like I was like, oh, there's a hole here, but I don't know what it is. Many years later, I went back to the hole to go into it to like check out, and I was like, what? Like they have like a sun down there? Like it's crazy.
What?
Yeah.
So like an artificial sun?
It's an artificial sun.
So that goes, I mean, China was doing that.
China just built their own artificial
sun.
Is that the same hole Admiral Byrd went through?
Y'all see that, right? Everybody in that clip played a woman in a movie of some sort. But they sit here and tell us, oh, you know, this is just to expand my acting abilities and this, that, and the third. Woo. No. When in reality, it's definitely a humiliation ritual. You hear me? In order to go far in that industry, you gotta do things that go against your morality, that go against your beliefs, your standards, everything, boundaries, everything. Like I said, in order to go far, you gotta go against everything that you stand for. That's one of them things. That was a humiliation ritual. But that's just me. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man.
Let's hope They don't make Michael B. Jordan do it, because he winning without doing that right now.
Hello, stop scrolling. Stop scrolling. Did you see who they just elected in Hungary? You can't make this up. Academia, entertainment, banking, agriculture, military-industrial complex, politicians, world elite, WEF. Who? You're not crazy. I swear to God, you're not crazy. Because this is not normal. It's not normal. You remember that interview that Kevin Hart done a couple years ago, and he said that when you make it, there's a door behind the door, behind the door, behind the door, behind the door. Those people behind all of those doors are the reason why the Diana files won't come out for 56 more years after everyone is gone. That's the reason that the Kennedy files, the ones that actually matter, won't come out anymore. The JE files, there's a plethora of information. 9/11, we know who did it. They'll never tell you. We know. But hey, this is all for entertainment purposes. I'll let my opinion first, my class.
But we know, and then some people don't want to know, but want to blame it on others.
So I made a video about Walmart yesterday and a fire that they had. And I got a comment, that was a random comment, that said, FYI, Walmart can turn into a detention center, just to let you know. And I got another comment that was like, I have a really hard time believing that. So I thought I would look into it, all right? So here's what I got. So back in 2006, there was a theory floating around the internet that Walmart stores would become the concentration camps of the new millennium. Critics quickly dismissed these predictions and called them conspiracy theories gone wild. Yet advocates of this pointed out that the fact that there are no windows in Walmart stores was proof the positive that the government was up to something nefarious in the sudden proliferation of Walmart stores in minority communities throughout the country. At the beginning of January 2016, Walmart announced that it would be closing 154 stores in the United States and Puerto Rico.
I've now been asked to leave the property, and so I'll comply with that. 2 weeks ago, Senator Jeff Merkley tried to get a tour of an immigrant detention center at an abandoned Walmart building in Brownsville, Texas, that houses children. Senator Merkley was not allowed inside. No one would grant him an interview. But today, for the first time since Senator Merkley was asked to leave the premises, our own Jacob Sobroff finally did get a tour. He joins me now just outside that facility in Brownsville, Texas. Jacob, you're with a few other journalists let into that facility. What have you seen?
Chris, I have been inside a federal prison before. I've been inside several county jails. This place is called a shelter, but effectively these kids are incarcerated. There are 1,400 of them, over 1,400 of them, that are spending not weeks, months inside this place. They're not actually literally in cages or in cells, but I kid you not, one of the first things an employee of the shelter said to me is, when we walked inside, can you try to smile at these kids? Because it's weird to see people from the outside. They feel like animals locked up in cages.
All right, so now let's talk about Walmart, okay? Because Walmart, while there are plenty across the country, they could potentially turn a Walmart into some sort of detention center or FEMA camp, but why would they? And this is why I say that, because in the year of 2026, in the year of our Lord, $38 billion, I believe, was allotted to the ICE fund, right? So ICE detention centers, instead of buying Walmarts, they are buying something much bigger, 23 to be exact. All right, now stay with me. The average size of a Walmart supercenter in the United States is approximately 178,000 to 187,000 square feet, okay? And then it says supercenters, what I just said, then the discount stores are a little bit smaller, from 104,000 to 108,000 feet, and then the neighborhood markets are 38,000 to 42,000 square feet. As of early 2026, many of the new immigration and customs enforcement detention centers are being created by converting large industrial warehouses with facilities sizing frequently ranging from 400 to over 1 million square feet. Okay, these are massive facilities designed to support the mega warehouse of the model mass detention. So some examples are the Social Circle in Georgia, 1 million square feet. So it'll house or bed 85,000. Okay, and then you can just pause to read the rest. It says 24 warehouses total, 8 mega, and then 16 processing to be functional by the late 2026. So they don't need Walmarts. They can just use their mega detention centers. Approximately $38 billion allotted for this expansion. This already has 220 detention centers nationwide. Most of the people that are being held in the detention centers are being held at jails, prisons, places like that. Check this out. However, they are putting these mega camps, detention centers, that will hold double the amount of residents that are in the town. So this is the Social Circle in Georgia. This detention center will hold over 8,000 people, And the town population is 4,974. And we see this repeat. But that doesn't mean anything. They just mean don't need the Walmarts. That's all I'm saying. But you know what? Before that's ever gonna happen, before ever anybody's gonna come over here and put us in to some type of camp,
I told you guys it was going to happen, and now I think we're seeing it all start to unfold. I've worked in law enforcement for over 20 years, and I'm trained to look at patterns, look at the clues. Where do they lead? Recently, we've seen a surge in Ohio of Bigfoot sightings. These things are allegedly moving in a southeast direction. Not to mention Canada. There's been an upkick in sightings just to the north and to the west. In Oklahoma, a lady was recently attacked by a dog or dog man type creature. There's no hard proof evidence this was a werewolf / dog man, but she heard a growl and can remember seeing what looked like a werewolf or dog man type creature. Don't get me started on the UFO, the whole disclosure stuff. You know, the government talks about releasing all the documents, the sealed things. At the same time, all of these scientists have gone missing. People associated with these UFO, UAP things, they suddenly just disappear. I think what we're seeing is not a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidence. I think this is all tied together. More of a spiritual thing that people just don't see, or if it is biological, or at least somewhat biological, these creatures, something's happening to cause this shift. Their behavior is changing, and we're starting to see all that unfold right now. I think the paranormal world is getting ready to see a lot of crazy things.
He said, I start looking after the burst, and a tall, skinny figure comes out. He's bent over, and it starts crying for help. But he says, I'm looking at this thing, and it's not a person as I'm watching this, right? So he said, so I decide I'm going to fire a short burst next to it. So he lets loose one. The thing doesn't react, turns its head towards him, and then here it comes. Full speed running right at him. What does that say? Now look, I'm not really keen on what an M250 is, but I would dare say if you fired it beside me, I'm not going to run towards it. I don't know, call me crazy. Maybe I'm not a cryptid, right? So this thing starts booking it towards there. So at this moment, after he's fired it all off, the commander's like, I want you to fire another one. But this time, I want you to fire the 120 millimeter gun at it. So he touches off the big round at it. Sizzles past there. He says it lands next to it at this point and blows the creature in half. Boom, separates the top from the bottom. He says all that settles, and here it comes again, crawling. At this point, it is crawling towards them and shrieking. He said, this thing is making a sound that I've never heard before and never want to hear again. It is an unnerving, shrieking sound. He said, it is burned into me for the rest of my life. He fires a second shot and hits it direct. And he said, I just turned it to mist at this point.
Damn, he can't even go look and see what it is, bro.
This is some of the clearest footage ever of Bigfoot's face. A man was walking through a snowy Canadian forest one day when he eventually noticed a strange creature watching him. It was hiding just behind a fallen tree covered in snow. Take a look. His shaky, rushed footage gets multiple shots of the being's face. When we freeze it and zoom in, it gets even more disturbing. This seriously is one of the best looks at this alleged creature's face we've ever gotten. It has human-like features, but its skin is dark gray and leathery, and it has long flowing hair on top of its head. It has a prominent brow ridge that sticks out and is very pronounced, but this one has a smaller nose and a thinner mouth. They're usually described with very large and wide noses, more primate-like, but this one here looks more human-like. And this incident occurred specifically in Ontario, Canada, so this could explain the more humanoid look. It's definitely some very interesting footage and some very clear footage, most importantly. But what do you guys think? Is it the real deal? Let me know in the comments down below.
As everybody's zigging, the stink zags. Of course I gotta talk about this picture, but I'm not gonna talk about it in the way that everybody else is talking about it. I'm going to dig into it. And we're going to talk about what everybody's not talking about. This. So let's talk about it. Trump posts this on his Truth Social, portraying himself as Jesus, healing a man. Behind him, the American flag, Statue of Liberty. But what no one's talking about is what's going on up here. Some people will say it's just a troll. It's not a troll. It's intentional. And it's a message for his supporters who believe in this stuff, who believe in revelations. And I'm talking about this right here. Let's zoom in on it. Some said it's an angel because of the wings. But angels don't have horns, specifically 3 horns. So what are the 3 horns symbolizing? I dug, because that's what I do. Let's tell you what those 3 horns mean. Watch. It represents little horn. Little horn, also known as the Antichrist. In the book of Daniel, called the little horn, it's not a monster. It's more of a ruler. And its traits are, speaks arrogantly, gains political power, oppresses people, and removes 3 kings. The beast shows up with 10 horns, decapitating those horns. Once the 3 kings are defeated, then 3 new horns would uproot. And that's little horn, also known as the Antichrist. So what is the Antichrist's purpose according to the Bible? Let's get into that too. The Antichrist exalts himself above God. He demands worship, positions himself as the ultimate. He comes across as charismatic, convincing, even good at first, gains trust before revealing his true intentions. Doesn't that sound like somebody we know? Somebody that we know that is very close to the United States of America? I'd say so. His rise sets up the final conflict between good versus evil, ultimately defeated by divine intervention. So his role is temporary, but it's extremely pivotal. The Antichrist will deceive people, gain power, replace truth with control, challenges God's authority, and trigger the final showdown. So in my opinion, this is just not a playful meme that the President of the United States just put out. It's a message. It's always a message. He literally just insulted the Pope. The Pope, guys. Then right after that, instead of apologizing to the Pope for what he said to him, he puts out this meme. In my opinion, this is it. He is here. The Antichrist is here, and he has revealed himself to us. Now it's up to us to choose a side. You have good, and then you have evil. It's up to us to decide where we're going to choose. I hope we choose correctly. Guys, please tell me what you think about this in the comments. And if you haven't followed me yet, please do. Have a day!
Case of Sandra Bland is one of the most impactful and downright creepy cases in the history of this country. So Sandra Bland was a 28-year-old civil rights activist from Illinois. While in Waller County, Texas, she was pulled over for a very minor traffic infraction. Things escalated and got out of hand super quickly. I just want you to take a quick watch of this video.
You okay?
I'm waiting on you. This is your job.
Oh, you seem very irritated.
I am. I really am.
You mind putting out your cigarette, please? Don't mind.
I'm in my car, but I have to put out my cigarette.
Well, you can step on out now. Step out of the car.
No, you don't have the right.
Step out of the car.
You do not have the right to do that.
I do have the right. Now step out or I will remove you.
And I'm calling my
I'm going to yank you out of here.
Okay, you going to yank me out of my car?
Get out.
Okay, touch me.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
And then you
I will light you up. Get out.
Wow.
Now.
Right, yeah. Yeah, let's take this to court. Let's go ahead. For failure to signal. Yeah.
So when this footage was originally released, it was released in like a 50-minute long full segment, right? But it was believed that it was doctored by almost everyone who's seen it because it had loops of the same thing playing in it. So she was in jail for a total of 3 days, right? But then this is where the entire case turned on its head. On July 13th, 2015, Sandra was found hanged in her cell. Jail ruled it an unaliving of herself, right?
Yeah.
But her family and the world didn't believe this was true because she had just gotten a new job offer. She was super happy all of the time, and she made phone calls while in jail and seemed super excited about the future and about getting out, right? But then this next moment changed everything. This photo was released of Sandra Bland. Everybody all said the same thing. Everyone believes she is dead in this photo.
What?
Which was taken on the day of her intake 3 days before she was allegedly found dead, which would explain all of the inconsistencies and lack of surveillance footage of her. If you look at this photo, there's a couple of reasons why people believe that she's dead. First of all, if you look at her eyes are clearly not focusing on the same thing. And it appears as if the eyes are edited. It lacks color consistency. And then the biggest one of all, if you look at the way that the shadow is cast behind her, the shadow is cast as if a light is coming from directly in front of her, which would mean that she's laying down. And then if you look at the way her hair is flowing, her hair is falling down as if gravity is pulling it toward the ground. The majority of the world has come to the understanding that this photo is not showing Sandra alive. Some people believe that she died prior to ever getting to the jail. Some people think that she died from whatever happened to her while she was in the jail. But the majority of people who see this photo do not believe that Sandra Bland was alive in this picture.
What if the first civilization on Earth wasn't human? In 2018, two scientists, NASA researcher Gavin Schmidt and astrophysicist Adam Frank, published a peer-reviewed paper asking the question, if an advanced civilization existed millions of years before us, would we even know? They called it the Silurian hypothesis. Earth is about 4.5 billion years old. Human industrial civilization is roughly about 300 years. If Earth's whole history was one 24-hour day, we would only show up in the final second of that day. Now think of what we leave behind. We've got plastic, concrete, pollution in the atmosphere, radioactive waste, but give it millions of years of erosion, pressure, tectonic recycling, and almost all of it disappears. There'd be no trace of us left. And that's what makes this idea so unsettling. The fossil record only preserves a tiny fraction of life that ever existed. So if a civilization rose, industrialized, and collapsed, and vanished deep into prehistory, it might not even leave a trace behind aside from some faint signal. And would it even look any different from a natural event? And how would we know? Well, here's where it gets a little bit weird. Around 56 million years ago, through ocean sediment core data, scientists found an anomaly. As it turns out, Earth's temperature spiked dramatically due to a sudden surge of CO2 in the atmosphere in what scientists call the Paleocene-Eocene thermal maximum. And if you compare what happened then with what's happening today, well, you catch my drift. Of course, debunkers and skeptics of this theory say that it was a period of extreme volcanism and methane release from the oceans, and that may be the case. But if there was a species, say a dinosaur-like species, that evolved and advanced to our level and beyond, and needed to survive some kind of global catastrophe, where would they go? Well, that's interesting because a lot of ancient cultures around the world made idols and iconography depicting beings like this, and also have legends about them coming from underground or under the ocean to influence humanity. And didn't the government just acknowledge that UFOs are coming from our oceans? But better look the other way because nobody came before us, right? Right?
To an Event Staple show just released on Netflix. And I know we think that's a comedy, but underneath all the laughs is really one of the coldest metaphysical commentaries on Black identity, surveillance, and ritual exploitation on TV right now. So let's decode it. I hope y'all caught on that his uncle was representing O.J. Simpson. Now, what they did with the O.J. storyline this season was phenomenal, and it wasn't random, and it wasn't about shock value. It was symbolic. You see, O.J. Simpson isn't just a person in the cultural archive. He's a myth, a ritual, a national spectacle America has never stopped feeding from. You see, O.J. represents a Black man placed inside of a white run narrative, a trial that became a modern ritual sacrifice, a life owned by media, not self-authored, a reminder that guilt doesn't matter, but story does. And that's what the creators played with this season. In the show, Vince is constantly trapped in situations where it doesn't matter what he did or didn't do because the world already has a script for him, just like OJ. The real symbolism of it is, if you are a black man in America, the narrative is built before you even enter the room. The whole secret society storyline was where the occult metaphor kicked in. It's not about robes and rituals, it's about industry initiation. Gatekeepers, institutions, hidden hands, people who benefit from your image, your energy, your likeness, but don't care about your humanity. Vince's character gets pulled into a society that he didn't join, and that's exactly the point. In the entertainment world, initiation is often accidental. You don't choose it, your talent does. The surreal meetings, the cryptic language, the sense that everybody already knows more than him is symbolic of the machine. The music industry, the media, the economy built around black entertainment, they treat him like an asset and not a person, like a symbol and not a soul. Vince is the anti-hero of the modern Matrix. He's awake, but he's not impressed. He sees the game, but he's not playing it. And that's why everything around him feels absurd. His character represents the man who's conscious inside of a system designed for the unconscious. He's not chasing fame. He's not seeking power. He's simply trying to exist without being consumed. And that actually makes him dangerous because the system can't control someone who's not seduced by it. Season 2 exposed the hard truth. America doesn't see black men as people. It sees them as public myths, performers, villains, heroes, threats, symbols, but rarely humans. That's why the OJ storyline fits so perfectly next to that whole secret society thing. It's the same story. A black man becomes a storyline long before he becomes understood. So season 2 isn't about just chaos, it's about autonomy. It's about the fight to remain a self-authored person in a world that wants a caricature. Vince is the man who refuses the script. And that's why the entire world around him is glitching. Because when you're aware in a system that requires you to be asleep, then you become the plot twist.
Man, that show crazy though. Go check it out, yo.
And people brain. Do not just scroll past and act like you didn't hear what I just said. They are putting chips in people's brain. Elon Musk Neuralink shit, they're about to start mass producing this junk. They're about to start mass producing chips in people's brain. Now they're saying this is for science purposes only. They're saying they're doing this for people who can't walk no more, who can't talk no more. They're saying this chip that's in your brain is going to help you start doing that shit again. They said with this chip in your brain, you will be able to control your phone, control your computer, control your car, all while using your mind. Not even saying anything. You think it, it happens. Reality happens. I just want to know, why are they doing a mass production? Why does it feel like this shit is being rushed? This shit is crazy, fool. You can say whatever you want. That shit is not normal, fool. So ask yourself this question. Do you think this is just for medical use? That they're trying to help people? Or do you think it's something bigger to this? Something more sinister?
Something bigger, but I ain't using it. I keep doing what I'm doing.
Ashley Janae and her fiance got into a domestic dispute before her unalivement. That's what the new reports is saying. They said them two got into an altercation where they had to be separated, and they placed them in different rooms. And later that night, that's when he said he found her unalive by hanging herself. So now we gotta ask the question, what were they arguing about? She can't speak. So you, right here, what were y'all arguing about? Did she tell you that she wasn't ready to settle down and get married? What was it? Who started it? Everything points to this man. I believe he did something, and the truth will come out in due time. You may be innocent right now, but let's see if you're going to remain innocent. It just don't make sense. The beautiful soul right here, this beautiful woman right here, just took her own life on her birthday, a birthday trip, and she just got proposed to. Come on now. and they said y'all got into a domestic violence altercation, something don't seem right to me, Sway. Make sure y'all hit that follow button, because I'm going to keep y'all updated. I really believe he did it, but we're going to find out.
Either she had some on the side or she wasn't ready and he flipped.
People are tired of getting paid unlivable wages and are fighting back.
House fire number 3 right here in Ohio. I was tagged about this. This is an Amazon warehouse that also just caught on fire. So this is the third one after we just heard about New York and Queens, and then the other one in California where we saw the big video behind it, right? Now, this is breaking news. I don't know much about it. I was tagged in this. This happened, I think, perhaps today. Along New York Queens fire that I was just reporting on earlier. And then somebody had told me about this, and I haven't been able to find any news about it online yet, but there's this special weather statement, moderate, for a fire spread in Pennsylvania right now. So that's 4. 5 right here where somebody said a jeans store was set in fire in California. Again, I can't corroborate these things right now. These are just comments. And somebody also said New Jersey for another warehouse fire. So that is literally California, New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New Jersey. I'm getting comments and reports in right now that there have been 5 different warehouse or storefront fires in the last 3 days.
Everything's going up, the gas, the groceries, and people are still getting paid unlivable wages while everything around us rises in price. People are tired, they're fed up, but maybe we're going to start seeing some changes here soon. As always, stay weird.
I tried to tell you that Nottingham is an unusual place when it comes to these caves, and you didn't believe me. When I say I got your ass, oh, I got your ass. Now I don't know who it is, and I don't know why, but somebody is telling a lie. When I think about cavemen, I think about people like this. These are the man that you told me was doing the cave thing. These monkey man. This is what you told me. This was the caveman. But brother, I got some bad news. It was these people. Oh, you son of a caveman. Did you know that Nottingham was the last city in the world where people were still living in caves? I mean, come on, brother. It got so bad that they had to pass a law to kick the people out the caves. Who were these people? Can you imagine what it would be like to live in the caves when the rest of England are living in houses? Come on, brother. This would look like. They would have animals down there and the baby moms down there. Everybody's down there, brother. Real caveman living. Some people still try it today, but the police, they're not having it. So when they tell you that humans stopped living in caves 3,000 million years ago, brother, these man was living in the caves in the 1940s. Oh my days, bruv.
I appreciate his content, bro. That make you that confirms a lot. That confirms a lot, bro.
If this situation right here don't let y'all know that we in some weird times, I don't know what will. For a small fee of just $1.99 per minute, you can talk to an AI Jesus. They are now allowing AI to portray Jesus, and you can talk to Jesus for $1.99 a minute. And for the month, if you want to, you can talk to the AI Jesus for $49.99. The new app is called Just Like Me, and you can video chat with the AI that look like Jesus. And the AI app, it remembers every conversation y'all had, so it makes it feel real. It makes it feel personal. They was like, you can pray with it. You can ask for advice. You can talk to it every day on the second if you want to. And you got some people calling this a modern way to connect with Christ. And I'm looking at it like, y'all fools is crazy, bruh. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this down below in the comments. That shit crazy.
Man, they going to hell, bro. Making money on Jesus. That's crazy.
The following is one of the clearest cryptid videos ever. Released in early March, the video is showing what some are calling the Dwende. A Dwende is a small, mysterious being from Latin American and Spanish folklore, often described as something between a goblin, a trickster, and a spirit. Check out the new footage. Now, of course, because the footage is so clear, the main debate with this one is AI or real. People who believe it's AI say the creature moves strangely and something looks off about it in the video. But people who think it's real say that it's an undiscovered creature, so obviously it would move strangely and look off. But analyzing the figure itself, it looks like an old man, but it seems to be covered in fur or moss, and it's more humanoid than a human. Its face is covered in snow-white hair, with pointy ears sticking out from its head. Now, Dwendes are usually described as smaller humanoid figures, often only a few feet tall, just like the subject in the video. Their appearance varies depending on the story, though. Some are ugly or wrinkled, with large ears or sharp features. Others look more like tiny old men, sometimes wearing hats or ragged clothes, and in certain stories they have glowing eyes or move in unnatural, jerky ways. Dwendes are best known for being mischievous and unpredictable. They're not always evil, but they rarely behave kindly for long. So is this the best footage of a Dwende ever? If it's real, it definitely is one of the best videos of one of these creatures of all time. Some of the clearest cryptid evidence we've ever seen.
Yeah, I don't want no smoke with him. I would have probably got away
But
from
the
him.
Bard episode, like your Bard episode, and you steel man the entire time, the conventional, like, you know.
He got very frustrated that I was doing that.
He did, but you, I mean, you had to do it.
You have to.
You have to. And I came out of that being like, I'm kind of on the fence. Like, you know, I invest in space stuff, and like I have a lot of friends in that world, and like they are adamant that we went to the moon. You know, there's supposedly like, you know, lunar imagery that, you know, of the landing site, the Apollo landing site. But it's hard to say. I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff too. You were talking about the flammability of, for example, hyperbaric chambers.
Yeah.
There's that whole Gus Grissom, the guy who was supposed to walk on the moon, who they reversed the doors and then they made it 100% oxygen. Then he blew up inside the thing.
Also, Gus Grissom had hung a lemon on a hanger. He hung a lemon on a coat hanger outside of that thing because he said, we can't even communicate with the tower. How are we ever going to communicate when we're in space?
He was so frustrated, he kept complaining up the chain of command they wouldn't fix anything because the higher-ups knew they weren't going to go and hadn't committed yet to faking it and therefore hadn't told the astronauts yet. And in his fury, without permission, he held a press conference. He invited in a bunch of reporters to the top of the rocket where he affixed a lemon the size of a grapefruit on a coat hanger. He said, this thing is a lemon, a piece of junk, made the evening news. And a few days later, he dies. His wife told me that on January 26, 1967, he came home from work and said the following, "Hun, for some strange reason, the CIA is all over the launch pad today. I wonder why they're here inspecting the equipment. Never seen him here before." He's dead the very next day from faulty equipment.
So crazy.
This is what I say to people that think this is all foolish. Watch the Apollo 11 post-flight press conference. Watch it. It's like a hostage video.
Mm-hmm.
It's three guys that look like they're completely full of shit. They look nervous. They're fumbling. It's interesting. There's a guy online who is he's a body language expert, and he watched it and gave his notes on it. He's like, these guys are clearly being deceptive. Like, they're being deceptive. They're being deceptive. They're uncomfortable. They don't like that they have to do this. The way Neil Armstrong is describing the flight is so fucking bizarre. And then he gives this speech 25 years later at the anniversary of the moon landing to all the brightest high school kids. And he says,
there are great ideas undiscovered, breakthroughs available to those who can remove one of truth's protective layers.
Yeah, like, what does that mean? What the does that mean? Why don't you just say, hey, I went to the moon.
Yeah, that's right.
I went to the moon, and you guys, one day you'll go to Mars, and we will colonize the galaxy. And thank you to you brave, brilliant young students for pushing ahead and carrying the torch that, you know, we took to the moon on Apollo 11. Like, no.
Yep.
It's weird, weird stuff, man. There's also Michael Collins in the press conference clearly says we couldn't see any stars. We couldn't see any stars.
We were never able to see stars from the lunar surface or on the daylight side of the moon by eye without looking through the optics. I don't recall during the period of time that we were photographing the solar corona what stars we could see.
I don't remember seeing any.
Then in his own book, which I think he wrote in 1994, he talks about how magnificent the stars were.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, you weren't even supposed to be on the moon. Okay? You were up there. They were on the moon. Like, did you forget? Like, what? I don't recall seeing any stars. Well, you're in the thing. Did you remember the script? You're in the thing. You're not on the ground. The intersecting shadows, people like to try to dismiss them. They say, oh, well, it could be because of the topography, and it could also be more than one light source, and that's more likely. When you got a shadow going like this and a shadow going like that, well, we know we went to the moon, so let's come up with another explanation. Let's not assume we went to the moon, and let's look at that and say, is that the sun, or is that multiple light sources at close range? It seems like there's a hot spot. It seems like there's multiple light sources at close range, and then there's videos that clearly show some sort of a reflection of wires when they're bouncing around on the moon's surface. If you speed it up, it looks preposterous because it looks like they're just in slow-mo. There's videos that it looks like they're bouncing around on trampolines. The physics are not the same in Apollo 11 as they are on Apollo 15 and 16. All of a sudden, they can cover great distances. They're doing these weird, giant, long leaps that they weren't doing before. The whole thing's weird. It's
really
also
weird.
during a time where they were completely full of shit about everything.
You had 3 networks.
They lied about the Gulf of Tonkin incident that led us into Vietnam. They lied about who killed JFK. They lied about everything.
MK Ultra.
Everything. Charles Manson. Everything was bullshit. All of it was bullshit. Operation Northwoods. There was all these things that were going on at the same time. So it's like they were more than accustomed to lying. Why would they tell the truth and nothing but the truth about this one thing?
And the Gemini 15 photo, I think, as you pointed out, is verifiably fake.
Yes.
So we know that they did fake.
Explain what that photo was.
Do you want to explain it?
Well, it's Michael Collins, and it's Michael Collins purportedly doing a spacewalk. But really, it was a training mission where they had him strapped in these harnesses, and they just blacked out the background and pretended he was in space.
And we know that.
We know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yes.
So we know they were lying. We also know, I don't know if you watched my episode with Bart, but Bart has this footage of where they're running images of the Apollo photographs through AI to detect whether or not they've been manipulated.
Play the clip, D27, where Putin was at this conference, the AI conference of 2 years ago in Moscow. They were allowed to play with this, AI that's not available to the public, 10 AIs scrolled together, and it said the Apollo pictures were fake.
То есть почти все объекты на этом фото ей кажутся ненастоящими. В то же время вот фотография китайского лунохода у нее особенных вопросов не вызывает.
А это то, что кажется не настоящим?
Да, да, вот то, что красное.
Сетка гугловская, не наша. Так, чтобы не было предвзятости никакой.
So there will be no bias. It's surprising, but it does believe so. The neural network has analyzed a lot of data, including light and dark contrast, etc. And then it believes the photo is synthetic.
I saw that. And Putin is looking at the video, and he's like not surprised that checks out as fake.
My friend who was from Russia said that in high school, they were teaching that the moon landing was a hoax.
No way.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes. Now, I don't know if that was just one cool teacher that was like, bro, I saw this documentary.
Yeah.
Or if it was like standard that they would teach that the moon landing was bullshit.
Well, you have the Van Allen radiation belt, and Danny brings this up on his podcast, where James Van Allen, who, it's named after, is saying that is 150 times what a normal human can take radiation-wise.
Right.
And once you're there, you get incinerated.
Also, they never even sent a chicken through that and had it come back alive.
And I think Werner von Braun's on record saying, like, this is impossible. Like, you can't do this.
Not only that, was it, there's a hole over Antarctica, and because it's a donut-shaped thing. Yeah, but that's not where you went through. If you follow the path. Also, all the telemetry data was destroyed, which is crazy. That's the exact telemetry, the distance between the module and the rocket and the Earth, and at every stage of the mission. All that's destroyed. The original footage is destroyed. We have copies. Well, it's all we have is copies. So you can't tell, like, oh, this is clearly manipulated. This is they monkeyed around with these images. So it's like there's so much of it that leads you to think that it's a hoax. And then there's also the big one. The big one is, name one other thing from 1969 that's not cheaper, easier, and faster to reproduce today.
That's right.
One, moon travel, space travel. That's the only one.
It's the only one. Yeah.
It's the only one.
Yeah. Well, and what's crazy is if you look at Starship, which is 5,000 metric tons, so it's 2 times the size of the Saturn V rocket. It has to go to low Earth orbit. It burns up 9/10 of its fuel tank just to get there. And then another one has to go up, do butt-to-butt refueling with it. You have to do that 10 times before you get a full Starship, and then that thing will go to the moon.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
And we're just experimenting with this now. You know, like we have issues. I think we just upgraded the amount of Raptor engines on Starships.
It's a legendary ass episode, bro. I need to watch that full complete episode. Let me know if you have. Thank you for sending that. That shit legendary. That was dope.
Oh, no. What in the human experiment is this? Look how old he looks. Look at these people. Now, I'm not one to say a baby looks ugly. Retta, that baby looks about 40 years old. Look at him. Cabbage Patch Kids, cloning factories. It's real. So this is before they perfected it, as you can see. Cause these babies are looking old. I mean, look at him. He looks like a mafia boss. That nigga's 5 years old. Come on, brother. What in tarnations is going on? Old face, young body. All my days.
Look, I ain't gonna talk about nobody kids. What we gonna do is, man, y'all let me know y'all thoughts. Y'all know we made it to the end of this. And if you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7. This is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps Collective grow, helps Collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But I appreciate you be watching ETV, whatever the case is. I wish it was smooth 7. Till I see y'all in the next one, y'all know what it is. We gone.
I just check my account. Sheesh, at the amount. You probably know what I'm